It's the great showdown between Esav and Yaakov in this week's parsha. Yaakov is going to meet Esav now. Time has passed. Took the blessings. Now it's really the meetup between the two of them. Yaakov sends messengers to tell Esav he's coming. And Rashi, for some reason, amazingly says that these messengers were angels. He could have said they were messengers. Rashi usually says the simple explanation. He says they're actual angels. Why did he say real angels? And then afterwards, he tells the angels to tell Asa that Yaakov's coming, and then they come back and they say, hey, he's coming back with 400 men. At that moment, Yaakov is afraid, and he prepares for three things. He sends a gift, he prepares for war, and he has a special prayer, special dowering to Hashem. Why those three things now? What changed? And then when he tries to send messages to Esav, he sort of wants to scare him, different explanations, but he says, I kept all the mitzvot, I lived with love, and I still kept the mitzvot. And then he says, and you know what? I have a shor and a chamor. I have an ox and a donkey. That's supposed to frighten him. So the sages tell us what he was saying to him was that I have the ox is Yosef, it's called the ox, Mashiach ben Yosef, and I have the donkey, it's called Mashiach ben David, so he rides on the donkey. What was he communicating to Esav? What is going on? So sages say that Yaakov was first trying to get Esav to do tshuva, to change his ways. Esav, Yitzchak wanted to bring Esav into the fold in the very beginning, but Esav went in his own way. Yaakov sends spiritual beings, angels, to try to influence Esav. When he sees he can't influence him, he has to do a different approach. What's the different approach? This is what we talked about many times, the perfect balance. There is one side of the right hand, which is the giving. And there's a left side which says no and balances and has to say you have to refrain. So that's Abraham. He sent gifts. That was the right side. And then he had the left side to have the strength to say no, that if the gifts won't work, he's going to fight a war. Now, Yaakov, though, is the blending of the two. Now, I have to understand, Esav, we said many times, is the master of war. He was Yitzchak's descendant, but did not take it properly, this restraint, and use it for war. So now, why is Yaakov sending the two sides? He just needs to take Esav on his side of strength because he's a warrior. But if you look a few weeks earlier in the parsha, it says that Esav went and he married into the side of Yishmael. That was the giver, the improper giver on the other side. Yishmael was the one who's giving. He was the one who has, even today, the Arab nation will bring you into the house for 3 days. They have that quality, but it's not used properly. So Esav knew to beat Yaakov, all he had to do was to combine the left side of strength, his power, and the other side, the side of Yishmael, the side of the giver in the improper way. That would be put them together. The problem is when you want to take two things and you have two people and they each want to be the leader, they can never get together because negativity can't combine and make peace. Yaakov can put the two together and be shalom and be whole. And that's what the third thing that he prepared was prayer, was tefillah, which is connection. Patil, it connects. He's taking the two sides and putting them together, which Esav, no matter what he does, can never put the two together. And that is the famous teaching in the story of Yecheskel. In the end of days, when the nations come together, it says there's an alignment between the Western world, Esav, and the Arab world. Some of them get together to fight against Jerusalem, but they realize they cannot combine together because they don't believe the same things, and that falls apart. Yaakov is able to put the two together and in a perfect harmony, and that's what he said. I have a shor, that's the power of Yosef. That's the strength. That's my own self-control and self-restraint. And I have the giver, which is called Yehuda, Mashiach ben David, who rides on the donkey. And I have the two powers of the giving and the self-restraint put together in a perfect harmony, which is called Torah, emes, truth, and it's also called Tiferes, beauty. And a person who really is whole and works on being that ability to put the two things together, he's in the perfect balance and he can never get knocked off. And that's what Yaakov told Esav, and that's what the successful encounter was all about. All the best.